Free agency has been wild so far. The Los Angeles Lakers have just been collecting a ton of guys who are taking pay cuts, but I think the biggest story has been the Chicago Bulls. Now, the Bulls haven't made much noise in the free agency market over the last few years, and I think a lot of that has to do with their recent playoff history, or lack thereof. The double sign-in trades to bring in Lonzo Ball and DeMar Derozan, while also signing an underrated defender in Alex Caruso, makes this new-look Bulls team generate some serious buzz. It began on day one of free agency where they did that first sign-in trade to bring in Lonzo Ball. The Bulls only needed to get rid of Tomas Satoransky, Garrett Temple and a second rounder, and I'd say that price for Lonzo isn't even that bad. What the Bulls are getting in Lonzo is honestly quite a lot for how much you're paying over his 4-year, $85 million contract. You get an elite defender who's made strides in his three-point shooting, and obviously, amazing fast break and transition playmaking, as we saw during his time with the New Orleans Pelicans and Zion Williamson. Honestly, Lonzo fits really well with this team after we saw a lack of a dedicated playmaker on the Bulls squad for the 2020-21 season, which means shots were harder to generate in the half court. Defense was another one of these issues, and while I haven't seen Alex Caruso play too much, I know that he's also known for his defensive mindset and brings a ton of energy to that side of the floor. We love that, and I think it'd be an awesome introduction to a team who also struggled with that defense. The contract is on the heavier side, with Caruso signing his 4-year $37 million contract, but the fans are already excited and making memes about him being the next MJ. You just love to see it. Finally, we got the last bomb tonight with DeMar Derozan joining the Chicago Bulls on a 3-year $85 million contract of his own, rounding off the amazing offseason for the Chicago Bulls. What you get in DeMar Derozan is actually one of the best fits from the free agency market. While not known for his playmaking, he's kind of taken up the role as a point forward during his time in San Antonio, becoming a way better passer and being able to make those important plays for his teammates. The main question mark about his fit comes with his weak three-point shooting, only averaging about 1 a game for his career, and only just making 25% of those throughout the last few seasons. It's not the best, but despite that three-point shot, his mid-range is one of his main staples, and the rest of his offensive game is very polished. I mean, he's one of the most elite isolation players if you just look at the stats. I mean, losing Thaddeus Young might be a bit of a tough blow, but if you're replacing him with a 4-time All-Star veteran, I think that's a good trade-off if the Bulls want to make a push and win now. The only other piece to the puzzle is that Lauri Markkanen is still a restricted free agent, and the Bulls need to decide whether to keep him or to maybe look for a third sign and trade. The player you'd target here with the remaining free agent field could be interesting too, but I doubt any of the big names like Kawhi or John Collins are going to be able to find a path to Chicago. Regardless, this puts the Chicago Bulls in a serious conversation with some of the other legitimate playoff teams, and maybe a few more veteran signings could make this team into a serious contender. I reckon this team honestly has so much potential, with Lonzo Ball starting at the point guard, Zach LaVine starting at the shooting guard, Patrick Williams probably starting at the small forward position, and then DeMar Derozan starting at the 4, with Nikola Vucevic running the middle. I think that's a really solid playoff team, and I reckon they can generate a lot of noise in this crazy NBA world that we live in.